Clash of Clans podcast, special episode 18, the big 1-8. And I'm back. Welcome, Boaz.
Thank you. I'm back too.
We decided to do a special episode. We were recording the other week, and there was a bunch of things that I know we both wanted to get to that we didn't really get to with the Boneyards. So what's been happening? What's new in the land of Clash?
Well, the thing that's new is this update that was supposed to drop yesterday, and then it was supposed to drop today. So we were kind of thinking we'd be able to talk about that a little bit, but maybe it's a blessing in disguise that it's not out, so we can actually get to some of the stuff that we've been meaning to get to for a very long time. So next episode we can get to that the new update. Hopefully they'll have it out by then.
Well, yeah, I would imagine it would be tomorrow at the latest. But I think we can really talk about, because every time an episode comes out, it drops, or an update drops, and things happen. It usually takes a few days anyways before we can really figure out all the nuances and everything. I think we've got a really good picture about what's going to be happening with this update. Mm-hmm. And so here's what I'm going to do is I think when we're done recording this, I'm just going to put this episode up tonight right away and get it out there, because I think this is a perfect pre-update episode. And we did talk about it in the episodes last time.
Yeah, we went over most of the pre-release teaser things that they did. You know, the new P.E.K.K.A, the new Teslas, the most importantly the live replay of the clan war battles.
We didn't talk about that.
Oh,
so
we didn't.
I think all we got to at that point, I think there was only two. I think there was only the. I don't even think the jumps. I think there was only two sneak peeks out. So I thought, well, maybe we could put this up right away because I really wanted to get to the big announcements that we announced in those episodes, and that actually ended up coming true. Is that we started the House of L.
Oh, yeah. I noticed that. I said, why isn't the House of Zod full anymore? And I said, oh, I see.
Yeah, so the House of Zod is in full swing, going hardcore. And after our war yesterday, I believe, I started the House of L, since Boneyard apparently, since I gave him leader of the clan, he thought it was his clan. And so I said, okay. So I went and started it, and then he started one. So House of L, EL, is rocking, and we're sitting at 15 members. We started a war right away. Some of the people from Zod came over, and so we are about to start a war in a couple hours. So I just wanted to get out there today, right off the bat, that if you are looking for a clan, any clan is welcome to join. So this special episode will be a little bit out of sync, because we'll be talking about the update and everything, and the other episodes from the 50th extravaganza will shortly follow.
Yeah,
up to that.
It says, I guess anyone who downloads it, they can see that it says 50th episode extravaganza, and they don't quite understand that is because we had a 4-episode marathon for the 50th episode.
Yeah,
so.
it went, and then there was some sound things. So I have to go through and listen, and I don't really do much editing anymore, except for just little tightening things if I need to. But I have to go listen to it all, and so I'm going through the episodes, and I thought in 51 that we'd really make the announcement of the House of L, and I tweeted it out, but it didn't. It's there. at the end. But I thought, hey, let's just take this moment. I'll put this episode out before that, and then we can really talk about the update and everything we know, and the rest will follow tomorrow. Once I get those just listened to and put up, because we've been having so much to talk about with these clan wars, and I think with what's added a whole dynamic ever since the clan wars, huge dynamic shift in the game, and then with us, Scotty and Boneyards, starting a clan and checking accounts. There's like even more stuff, and so I am leader of House of L. Boneyard is leader of House of Zod, and
hopefully someday there will be a clan war where the two get pitted up against each other.
Yeah,
so.
And here's what we hit. That would be so awesome. And here's what we're gonna do: is we're gonna stay on that schedule. We're gonna war at the exact same time. So
I see.
So to even the chances of us hopefully going to war against each other, even though my second account is co-leader in House of Zod, and Boneyard is player one. Boneyard's second account is co-leader in House of L.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's cool. So you both have a presence in both clans.
Yeah,
there,
and then we
cool.
can. What's cool about it, I think, is that we can then communicate between clans really easily. And what if you want to do a different war strategy where you want to just do some makeup of really low people and then really high people, or you have certain strategies that you want to try out. Who knows what's coming our way?
Yeah, because if you each start a war at the same time and you make House of L2 and House of Zod 2 or something as a specific war clan, and each one has a Town Hall 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in it, I think they'd be pretty likely that you get matched up against each other.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, so I think there's ways that you could manipulate it so there's no way you're going to get matched up against anyone else, because there's no way anyone would have a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1
And I would
clan.
love to get matched up against Boneyard just to show him.
It'd be pretty epic.
And watch him go down. No, he would never stop talking shit. That would be the thing right away. So I think I'd always be afraid that we would in case.
But yeah, with the clan wars and the new second account clans and everything, there's so much to talk about, which means that this content that Scotty and I have been wanting to get to for so long just keeps piling up and backing up. So maybe we can go into some old school hardcore Clash of Clans talk here and give the listeners a taste of that.
Yeah, and just as a side note too, we're starting this. You've talked about it on episodes, and I think Korg has talked about it when he's come on. Just the idea of clan families, things like that, and that's the politics and the running of clans and the strategy of just of war. We've been participants, but now we're a little bit more in the driver's seat. And there's a lot of stuff that comes up. Oh, my God.
Are you going to unveil the name of the new clan family?
I've just been calling it the Kryptonian clan family.
Yeah, which is cool. I saw that in the description in the House of L, so I thought that was a cool name for it.
Yeah, and then if Lady B does it, or, whoever. I don't really know how clan families work. I know that a lot of people have them and people go between, and that's cool. And now we have a place for if we want to do a 40-person war, because if you're finding that 40 people in a war work much better, we can say, okay, everybody, why don't you go over to House of L for a little bit, or just leave and then come back in once we found it. But so we'll see where it goes and how things work with that. But I'm really excited. So if you're out there and you want to join a clan, all levels are accepted. We're working on some war strategies things or some problems, and I thought I'd bounce a couple ideas off of you too.
Sure.
During this podcast, but yeah. So I'm around, and I'll just put it out there. I'm in and out as much as I can be. So I'm there. At certain times. So I'm not constantly on, especially with all the content we've been putting out lately for the podcast, which has been kind of crazy, but there's been so much to talk about. So
that's true.
And
there's been a lot of recording sessions, recording sessions that go much longer than you're originally expecting. I guess now we tend to expect that they're going to go for, at least a few hours.
Well, yeah, before we'd cut each other off. And, it's okay, well, here we are. But, the Clan Wars added, doubled the game, in my opinion. And so it's almost fitting that there's a two episode piece. So let's go over, okay, so when we know, so by the time people listen to this, or as people listening to this, we know that we're getting a new level jump spell, level 3.
And more importantly, it will change the physics of the jump spell a lot. And so basically what it causes the troops to be sucked into the jump spell radius. Is that the idea of it?
That's what I gather.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, that it pulls them. And on top of that, so it's gonna have the level 3. The physics of it are gonna change a little bit, which means your troops are gonna be able to get inside easier, and that'll help a lot with the I think even out Inferno attacks, because I think one of the best ways to fight in Inferno is just sheer numbers.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with a single Inferno. But yeah, if you go in with enough things with a multi-Inferno, it can only target 5. So if you go in with, 15 guys or whatever, then they're going to be able to overwhelm it pretty well, which is...
then you don't have to rely
huge.
on just hogs or, something really strong. Because I think barbs and archers are still, in wars, really an important part of the attack. And I've been trying to just... like I said, and I know it hasn't aired yet, but the supercharging the army, keeping those numbers up there, so that way you're going to be able to maybe now 3-star a really high level, in a clan war if you use them right. So that'll be interesting to see how it plays out. I think it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out with the new Valkyrie update.
Yeah, that's gonna be really big. Just because it's a troop that is basically just like the jump spell. Actually, it's kind of like the bastard child of the spells. The jump spell, the one that hardly ever gets used. Just like Valkyries are, I would say, probably the least used troop out of all the troops. Wouldn't you say? There's probably no troop that gets used less than Valkyries.
Right, and I know that they've said that it's one of their favorites, that Supercell has said that, and they keep modifying it. I think the problem is the cost and the training time.
What's the training time?
It's 15 minutes.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, that sucks.
I believe.
I bet they'll lower that when they increase the stats, but the training time will probably go down. Well,
now the new Valkyrie will go to the center of a clump.
Yeah, which is going to be awesome. I'm just curious if they're going to... Because I have a decision to make here whether my next lab upgrade is level 2 Valkyries or level 3 Golems. And so I'm going to have to analyze the Valk stats and everything to...
my Golems just finished. So I think I'll use the Valkyries more than the Golems. Because Golems... maybe, I don't know if the jump spell will take the golems in, but the fact that the Valkyrie will go for clumps means to me, because she does splash damage. So she goes in and she sits, she goes. There's the 4 buildings or the 2 buildings close together. I'm guessing that not only is she going to swing and get to both buildings or the 3 buildings or the 4 buildings, in that hump, but I think she's also going to be swiping the walls at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. Clan castle troops, walls, anything that gets in there. Because I think that'll be really big, is blowing holes in the walls while she's doing other stuff, instead of troops having to sit there banging on a wall and, that's all they're doing, and hoping that they all go for the same wall section. But I think that's something else that's supposed to be changing. The AI is supposed to change so that they all go for the same section of wall instead of spreading out or something. That's something else that I had heard, although I don't know if that was an official.
Well, and what it meant to me, and just see, because there was a video that was put out by Supercell or they put it out from Clash Daddy or whoever put it out, and I saw that with the walls, and I think in the early level gameplay. So with my second account, I think walls are really, really important. That's the defenses are strong, but I'm putting my walls to pink. Right now it's just my second account's just kind of sitting there. I had to spend a lot of time, and this is crazy, by the way, redoing my war camp, because during the last war it glitched when I saved it.
Oh no. And
I have a picture of it, and I'll have to tweet this out. I've got a wall running through an elixir storage. Things are all out of whack, and then I've got a archer tower straddling a wall. I mean, it was the craziest thing, and I had seen that in a different war. I think it was with Minnesota Nice, I believe, or maybe it was with Zod, where a clan castle and a barrack were on top of each other.
I've actually seen that back when I first started. I remember you could move buildings into the woods, and if you did it in a certain way, they would just stay there, and so they would still have their shadows in the like on your base. You'd see a shadow of the building, so it was still reserving its spot, but you could leave them in the woods and they would just stay there. I think when you went away from your camp and came back, then they would return. But it was pretty interesting. I remember doing some screenshots where my entire camp was all in the woods, and there was just a bunch of shadows in my where my base is supposed to be. Well, yeah, it was interesting.
And there's a good war tactic right there. Is for a lower level player, make sure you put your builder's huts way in the corners, because people go into war and they forget those little things. Mm-hmm. And that's a little bit of the percentage. But
so this is an age-old argument, which is a good one. Just like, do you put the stronger walls on the outside or the inside? So the two theories are builders' huts in the corners. They either, people forget about them and then they don't, get 100%. And then the knock on it is that, it's an extra, 5 or 8% or 10% or whatever that you're just giving away. But I have another, so that, there's a debate back and forth about that, but I have another factor that makes me not like putting them in the corners, which is I want all buildings to be covered by defenses within the defenses radius, because when someone is luring your clan castle troops or your heroes, if you have something off in the corner or just a building that's not protected by an archer tower or something, then that means that they can just, put a hog in or a balloon or just even a barbarian and lure out your clan castle and lure out your heroes. And then once they have them out, they can plop an archer over in the corner with the builder's hut, and it draws everyone all the way out to the corner. Otherwise, if you want to get out to the corner, you have to drop an arch and it walks in, drop an archer, it walks in, drop an, and keep dropping them breadcrumbs, leading them out to the corner. But if you have a building in the corner, all you have to do is drop one troop, and then it's super easy to lure all of them. So for that reason, I am against putting buildings in the corners.
No, I wouldn't do that with my... So I'm just going to talk about my second account. I'm just going to call him Xace, and I'm just going to talk about him like he's a completely different person. So I say my camp. because otherwise it's really hard to talk about the two different camps. With my camp, I wouldn't do that. I don't want to give anything away for free because with my walls and everything, like I got 1-starred in this last war, and they went in with everything they had, but you can't get 50% of my camp from just the outside. And so they had to come in a little bit, and they got some stuff, and that was really tough. But I won't give anything away for free. Now, with Ixaza's camp, the clan castle wouldn't, at level 6, I couldn't put it anywhere that I could, that the troops wouldn't be drawn out, like right away.
Well, I'm not saying it prevents it from being drawn out. Like, right. It just prevents it from having a place for them to all gather, meet up.
And I think this is where preparation day, comes into play. Because if you can go in and look at your opponents and start to understand, maybe what type of players they are. Because since the podcast has been, now, website's going good, things are streaming, have more time to be on Twitter and with a second account and watching people, at lower levels. A lot of people don't know how to attack. People sometimes don't know the basics, and it's a learned skill, to be good at the game.
Yeah, for sure. 'Cause like up at where, our main accounts are, no one's going to be fooled by buildings in the corners. Everyone's going to zoom out real quick, drop, it will first lure if there's something in the corner, they'll use it for luring the heroes in Clan Castle. But when that's done, they'll just drop, one barbarian or archer in each corner, get rid of that stuff before going in or in the middle of their battle. But yeah, when you're a lower level town hall and there's someone that is less experienced, that really can. I remember when I was first starting out, saving, getting a lot of 97% or 90, people getting, 97% on me because they would forget about the builder's hut, and then they finish in the middle, and then they slowly, their whole army is trying to get, out to each of the corners. And so, yeah, for lower level accounts, it's really, it can be helpful, but the thing now is so many of the lower level accounts are second accounts. So if someone's like a Town Hall 5, you don't know for sure they're a noob. They might be an amazing player who, just happens to be having an alternate account.
Well, and then that's where you go in and you look at, during prep day, and you kind of see what they're attacking with. Maybe look at the profiles of the players, see, if they're winning.
Interesting.
And it's not something I've taken time to do because we've been so busy with everything else. But, I think there's some real strategy that can come into play if you play it really smart. And and so those buildings on the outside, I think it's it's a gamble in terms of whether or not they're going to use them or forget about them. And it might be and that could in the end when it comes down to time, and it might only really work with the right level town hall. Where it's going to take a long time for them to get to them if they forgot about them. That runs the clock out.
Yeah, definitely. Because I just know that when I'm attacking and I see someone with buildings in the corner, I just love it because it's so easy to lure, their heroes and Clan Castle all the way over to the corner. So like the fact that I like it when that happened, when I see that made me realize that, well, other people probably like it when they see me doing that, so I shouldn't have my stuff out in the corner like that. But.
Yeah, so I don't do it. I think it could work with the right opponent if you're willing to do the strategy or look and take your time. But I think, and I'm really seeing this with people in the game that are new to the game, is they really want to learn how to attack. And I think it would be great to do an episode of the basics.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because there's something that I've been wanting to get to forever that we just kind of hasn't come up. And I think it would be, it's these 4 rules for when you're starting out.
Okay.
And there might be more, but there's 4 that I've come up with. Things to do or to not do. And so I've been kind of thinking, like, well, when people are, there's so few people listening that are brand new to the game. But now that we've been talking about a lot of second accounts, I bet a lot of the listeners out there are going to be making second accounts or even third accounts or whatever, just making a mini. And so there was a few things that I wanted to get to as mistakes to avoid for new players or for people starting out.
All right, let's do it.
So this one, it seems pretty self-explanatory, but especially for younger players, it's just so they don't. Okay, it's do not spend gems on anything except builders.
Yes.
All right. So I had my little nephews, and there's a kid I met on the airplane when I was flying with my wife a few weeks ago. I was playing Clash of Clans on the airplane, and my wife said, there's this kid behind us, or these 2 kids behind us that have been staring over your shoulder for the past 20 minutes. And so I turned, so the kid finally taps me on the shoulder. He says, "Sir, what level, or how long did it take you to get to, level 115 or whatever?" I was like, wow, I got a stalker here. So he interviewed me for about 20 minutes about my account and stuff. And one thing that he mentioned was that he only had 2 builders. He was a nice Town Hall 8 with only 2 builders. Yeah, and it was just so like, dude, what are you thinking, man? Like, it just seems like such an obvious thing, but so many people spend gems on things besides builders. So like once you get 5 builders, or if you're someone that's not going to be as active, maybe you'll only need 4 builders. But once you get all the builders, then you can start. And I guess another thing is, once you have 3 or 4 builders, then a lot of people will spend gems on the Barbarian King, just because it's so hard to get Dark Elixir when you're at Town Hall 7. It's just so hard to save that up. So like what I've done, I think on both my accounts, is like maybe rated for about 4,000 or 5,000 Dark Elixir and then gemmed the rest, just because once you get up to like 8,000 and 9,000, you're just getting, it's all getting attacked from you over and over and over, and it's just so hard to get up there. So that's one caveat. Don't spend on anything except for builders, except maybe your first hero, just the first level of it. And because just the difference between having a Barb King and not having a Barb King is huge. It's just a free,
well, and that's
thing there.
And that's where I'm at with Town Hall, with Xace is, things, and it's changed a ton too, because if you're in a clan that wars, the amount of upgrade, what you upgrade, when you upgrade it. I spent yesterday just kind of measuring the time and going, you know what, I'm not going to put everything out on the board like I would normally have done. I'm going to sit and strategically, I can have these things ready for war. So I'm going to get my cannon as high as I can before war is going to start. Mm-hmm. And then I'll put out my archer tower, same thing. I wanted to get my Dark Elixir storage out there, but I'm going, no, I need to spend all this stuff on getting these things done because we're about to go to war.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, that does kind of change the dynamic or the order in which you want to build things when you get to a new town hall. If you have a war
because before it would be just get it out there, and then it'll take time away from people getting your stuff. But if you're cleansing constantly in a war, those are percentages that are going to come off, and so you can use them as bait. But it can also be a handicap, because then you've got more things that people could get to that 50% easier. Because
there's so few hit points, they can just take out a level 1 or 2 archer tower or cannon so quickly and get the same percentage as if it was a max cannon, but and also when you're a lower level, each building is such a higher percent than if you're like when you're Town Hall 10, each building's like 1 or 2%, but when you're like Town Hall 5 or someone takes out a building, it's like 4% or something, which is crazy. So it's yes.
So, okay, so that's rule number 1. If you've spent your gems, guess what? just don't spend them anymore because you'll get back up there because you're going to hit achievements. I hit my 1250 this week. I've been saving my gems. I ended up spending just a couple, I think, for some war stuff. But now we have gem boxes.
Yeah, that's the thing. And back when I started, all of the obstacles, you'd clear them, you'd get like 0 to 3, I guess. I think 3 was the most. Now you'll get like 6 or something is the most. So you'll really build up. By clearing obstacles, you get a lot more gems than you used to. So yeah, it's never too late to stop spending gems on stupid stuff.
Right, because I need 250 more gems for my 4th builder, and 3 I could do. I think Lady Boneyard still toughing it out with 3, but you hit a certain point and you have sleepy builders. But it is hard with even 3 to do this stuff, especially when you start to get into the 2-3 day upgrades, and then God, I mean, at Town Hall 10, the 14-day upgrades. I'm still waiting on my Expo, and it seems like, well, geez, it's been I don't even know how many episodes that we've recorded since I started my Expo upgrade.
That's a good point.
So that was rule number 1, right?
That's rule number 1. Don't spend gems on anything except builders. Next one, and these two are really basic rules of thumb, but I want to go over them anyway. Do not upgrade your town hall before maxing it out. So these are cardinal rules that we've talked about, but super important for everyone out there. I know generally on their second accounts, people are a lot more patient because on their first accounts, they want to get, such and such for the first time, or, they've never had, these different, the different thing, I've never had a hog rider, I've never had an archer queen. And, you want to jump up to that stuff, and you might rush a little bit. But when people are doing their second account and they have already had all that stuff, you really notice that they tend to slow it down, and they just know, when people are aware of the loot penalties and the loot bonuses, that as long as you're you're planning on maxing out this base anyway, why not take advantage of the loot bonuses? Like, for instance, my Town Hall 7, I just upgraded to Town Hall 8 after getting 100% purple walls, level 7 walls.
Wow.
And I ran out of... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, keep going.
I ran out of elixir upgrades, a few months ago. I stopped having any kind of, barracks or army camps or anything in the lab. Months ago, I ran out of those. Then I ran out of gold upgrades, defense upgrades. A month or 2 ago, a really long time ago, I had everything maxed, and so then I've just been grinding out my walls for so long. But I knew that I'm going to do the walls at some point. I'm going to get to at least level 7 walls at some point. So why not do it right now when the loot, the Town Hall 7, I remember thinking when I was first playing my first account that Town Hall 7 was really the sweet spot for farming because... you have with level 4 troops, you can barge people up pretty good, just by getting the collectors and the mines and everything. Level 4 troops are pretty serviceable. And then the bonuses that you get, especially when going against a town hall higher than you, but then even you can attack town hall 6s and 100% them really easily. And, you don't have a huge penalty when you're doing that, abandoned Town Hall 6s or Town Hall 7s. And so really, I remember Town Hall 7 being where, when I was doing it on my first account, I could have kept 7 or 8 builders busy on Town Hall 7 because it was just my collectors or my storages were always maxed and trying, when is this builder going to get done? I can't, do any farming right now because my storage are maxed anyway. Oh man, I wish I had about 1 million builders, and
right.
So it was nice to finally move up to Town Hall 8 here.
And so. I am on a strategy of I am a research upgrader.
I know your strategy, Scotty. I've heard you talk about it.
And because I think that's and I think And
I'm ready to debate you on this.
I'm going to stick with it because I think that with research, because I'm on Town Hall 10. I've been playing for almost in a couple
coming
months,
up on 2 years. Yeah,
and I still have things that need to be maxed, and and I think having the strongest troops is basically the way. I mean, you can go up against any bases or whatever. I don't know how to describe.
I'll agree. Well, no, I know exactly what you're trying to describe, and I'll put it in a good way here. Elixir upgrades are the most important upgrades in the game. The upgrades that you get from Elixir, new barracks, new spell factory, new levels of troops, most importantly, the lab upgrades, new levels of troops. So those are the most important upgrades. If you're not gonna max your town hall, if you're gonna plan on kind of rushing or something, those are the ones you want to do. You want to go Elixir if you're gonna be rushing. Those are much more important than the gold upgrades overall.
Right. And I'm only talking about the army camp and troops. So my decision to go to 7, and it's actually an easy decision at 6 because I knew I could almost have everything maxed besides walls, and then I thought I could actually almost get the walls maxed by the time I hit 7. But I ran out of stuff to research, and then I can't give away stronger troops, and it seems like that's where you hit the wall is the troops that you can give out. So
well, and when I was first playing on my first account, that's what you really get antsy about. When everyone in your clan is giving you, level 5 troops, and you're giving everyone level 4 troops, and you just really want to, get up to the level 5 troops or whatever it is. That's really understandable. That the troops are the most fun thing to upgrade at each, in my opinion, when you go up each town hall. However, having played now, and each time, when I got to basically Town Hall 9 is where I've been, I just actually, as of today, I upgraded my last defense. So all of my elixir upgrades, all of my defense upgrades are all done, and so I'm settling in to grind out my level 9 walls. And so I just know that in any account I play... Are you talking about
the $1 million walls?
Yeah, the $1 million walls. So I have maybe 20 or a little under 20 of those or something right now. So. And
you're at Town Hall 9 or?
Town Hall 9, yeah. Okay. So I want to, and there's going to be a major
I bet
migration.
You'd be close to my strength.
I don't know. No, the thing is though, I don't have any Inferno towers. Like just having Inferno towers makes you so much stronger than me.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
But also your upgrade, an extra expo, the upgraded expos, like the defenses are super important, especially with hog riders and stuff. Although we will talk about how hog riders are getting even worse with this new update. We can go into that when we're going. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We'll go into that when we're doing talking about the update. Yeah. They get even worse, believe it or not. Yeah. So, but yeah, those defenses
Supercell? Quit fucking with my hogs. Quit fucking with you can't give a troop that you think is awesome, make it awesome. First of all, make it okay, then make it really good, and then make it not so good, and then keep fucking with it. Just because people, you know what? Okay. I'm going to get angry now. Okay.
But yeah, so my point is that eventually I'm going to get to the point where I'm grinding out walls anyway, so I might as well max my walls at the correct town hall because that's when it's the easiest. When I'm getting attacked by people, they have the biggest loot penalties, so I'm, getting less taken from me. Although the other thing about that is if I'm at Town Hall 8 with better, with more defenses and stuff, will I be attacked less than if I'm at Town Hall 7 with max defenses? But I sit at a pretty low trophy level because I don't do a ton of farming. I mostly am just harvesting my resources.
I guess part of it too is what the end game is and how you want to play the overall game. Because I got a 21% war against a Town Hall 9 in this last war. in Zod, and I made a rookie mistake. I thought my king was ready. It was seconds away from ready when I went in.
I did that the other day. Oh my god, it was awful.
And the town hall, it was a town hall 9. He had the level 9 walls, the $1 million walls, and it was like all these things coming together to basically. It was like I just couldn't hit the tipping point where I could go, and I think I dropped a spell in the wrong spot. And,
were you hogging him?
Yeah, I was going to hog him because without Infernos, I could take. I thought I could take out almost everything, but I couldn't quite get the clan castle out. And I thought I had it, and then it wasn't quite there. And then the king and queen, I'd moved him to the right spot, but he had the kings and queens. Within the range of expos, so I had to drop them.
Oh yeah,
and then I had to walk them up to the top of the map, which was fine. But then getting the things out of the clan castle, the things that come out. We were just talking about in the clan today. I think how it works is the lowest level and the lowest housing spaces come out first.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. I think it's just the lowest. Oh, so you're saying it's lowest housing space, and then within the lowest housing space, the lowest level.
Right.
I never thought about that.
Because you always got the badass wizards come out last. The witches
the green
always
archers
come out last.
The green archers always pop out first if there's any level 5 in there, and then the level 6 archers. Yeah, and then you'll see the wizards, and then the witches, and dragons are always last, and
the balloons. And it's like you have to be within the zone of the clan castle for an extended amount of time to pull it out. And I wish I knew how that exactly worked.
Well, I will tell you. So this is so when we first started with Clan Wars, we were like, oh yeah, dragons in the clan castle. Level 4 dragons. That's awesome. Witches, stuff like that. But if you have a couple witches and a couple wizards, that's 4 troops in your clan castle. Or you have a dragon and a couple wizards. They only need to be in the radius of your clan castle for a couple seconds before everything just comes out. And they've lured all your stuff. So we went against this clan who they all had at least 15 or so archers. Every single one had at least 15 archers in their clan castle, and then they'd also have some wizards or a witch or something in there as well. Because if it's only archers, you can lightning spell them, and that's they're just completely done. But so we got really screwed over by these guys because they had come up with this idea, and it was so hard to lure them. You needed to stay within the range of their clan castle for so long to get everything out. And it happened a few times to people where you thought you had everything, and then especially if you're going with hogs, then even if it's 1 or 2 wizards, they're gonna totally fuck you over because they're gonna follow you around and and destroy everything, and your hogs are never gonna attack them. The hogs will always ignore them. So yeah, that's something that that is totally, it varies depending on what they have in their clan castle. And I think the amount of time you need to be near them to lure them, and for a king and queen you only need to be near them for a fraction of a second before they before they get onto you.
So and just for the record, in my hog attacks, I don't normally just full out hog. I do 20 to 22 because I think that too many hogs, it's just a liability. And I think a diverse army is really the thing that you need. The blunt force trauma can sometimes work, but it can go really bad, and that's usually really expensive gamble.
Yeah, I do low 30s for my hogs, but I have definitely a bunch of other troops to make sure that I'm able to kill their heroes and their clan castle troops, and then all my other troops follow behind the hogs and and do cleanup on the non-defensive buildings and stuff. But I just don't like running out of hogs, so I like at least 30, just because I don't like to. If you run, if a few of them hit spring tracks and all of a sudden your hogs are all gone, then that always
in the
sucks.
wars I'll take in 28 maybe, and and that's just heal spells and with those. So okay, so
so the moral of that story is big recommendation to the listeners, even though archers aren't, wizards are better in the clan castle because they do splash damage, and witches have the skeletons and they're harder to lightning them and stuff like that. It's good to put some small troops in your clan castle because it takes just as long to pull one archer as it does one wizard or one witch. But if you have a whole bunch of them in front, then they're going to need to waste a lot more troops luring your clan castle. So just something for people to keep in mind when they're thinking about what to put on their request during preparation day in the wars. Maybe add some extra archers in there just to make it trickier for your opponent.
So we've got two rules down, correct?
So first rule, don't spend gems on anything but builders.
Snoring dog.
Second rule, upgrade your or max everything before upgrading your town hall. All right, so those are obvious ones. These ones are a little more interesting. Next one, do not beat all the goblin levels just for the sake of beating them. The goblin levels are a very important tool for you to use as a bank when you run out of gold. So like if you if you just had enough gold for an upgrade and now you don't have any gold to search, how are you going to farm gold if you don't have gold to search? So that's when you make a withdrawal from your goblin bank. So you say you have only 1,000 gold left because you just saved up for, or especially if you saved up for an $8 million upgrade, by definition you're going to have 0 gold left, and then you're going to have to wait quite a while until you can start farming again. So you can just dip into your goblin reserve, take out some of the gold, especially if you get up into the higher level range. I mean, the lower ones are pretty useless anyway because you get such a small amount of gold and elixir from those. But as you get up higher, I mean, there's ones that are 200,000 of each, or I think the one that I'm on now is 400,000 of each, and I've been withdrawing it very carefully. My guys will be making a little withdrawal, and then I'm trying to only get like 50,000, and suddenly they have 120,000. I'm like, end, because I only need enough to to do whatever it is that I'm trying to do. So I mean, I know people like getting the achievement of getting the 3 stars, but if you complete all your goblin levels, you're wasting a valuable resource to use in the game, which is and I know you guys have referred to that before, making the withdrawal from the goblin bank and stuff like that.
Well, I haven't made a withdrawal from the goblin bank in probably a year and a half, because I still haven't beat it. I just leave it there. Let me see where I'm at. I've only got 96 out of 150.
Yeah, I had about 90 something for quite a while, and then I started needing to make withdrawals when I was powering through a certain part of Town Hall 9. So now I have 120 stars or something. So I got to be careful, now that I'm getting down to the end there, because I don't want it. Because once you run out, I mean. And the other thing, and I think everyone who's been playing for a while knows this, but maybe newer players don't know this. The other really important function of the goblin levels is to dump troops. So say you have a clan castle that doesn't have very good stuff in it, and someone's offering you something better, or you're a nice clanmate and you want to dump your clan castle just so your clanmates can get more donations to their, on their experience and stuff. So you just dump the troops for the sake of dumping them and request again.
Something new every podcast.
Because
I go out because then I don't have to worry about revenge then.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wait. Well, oh yeah. Exactly. Because if you go out and dump it on a person, not only do you have to worry about revenge, you lose a bunch of trophies. And especially if you're trophy pushing, or if you're trying to hover in a certain area, you don't want to lose 25 trophies every time you need to dump a clan castle, or every time, say you have a witch or a dragon that's ready in your barracks, but there's no room, so you have to quick go and dump 20 troops to make the dragon pop out of the barracks. So you just go into the nearest goblin thing, just bloop, 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 drop 20 troops, you go back and the dragon has popped out. And so... yeah, so it's a lot less messy than going in and actually making real attacks if you just drop the troops in the goblin levels. So So definitely that the goblin levels are, they're fun to do the single player missions and stuff, but it, if you're powering through them, they go, really quickly, and so it's better to save them and use them for these other functions that they have, and that's something that I think they should be doing in one of the upgrades, is giving us more goblin levels, because I think now with new troops, like I haven't gotten to the last ones, but I remember when I first started playing and people would be like, how do you beat the Pekka Playhouse or the Dragon Graveyard or whatever
Sherbert
the last
Castle.
Sherbert Castle? How do you beat that? And now it's like everything is so OP compared to, because that hasn't changed. At least I don't think so. Maybe they've improved the defenses. I guess I'm not sure, but there's all these new troops and stuff. So when I go in, I flatten those out so easily, even though they're like the higher level ones now. So that would be nice to bring some more of those into the game, especially people that have already emptied out their goblin bank account and then they're listening to this and saying, oh crap, I wish I had some more goblin levels so I could withdraw the gold carefully. Or maybe they're saying, well, Boaz doesn't know what he's talking about, so
I think that's good advice. What would be the fourth rule?
So the fourth rule, and this one is a little better known than the goblin one, always put your town hall outside of your base. There is almost no reason ever to have it inside. So if you're trophy pushing, and you're actually earning defensive trophies, then that's a good reason to have the town hall inside. If it's your war castle, obviously you want the town hall inside.
Yeah. So if you're in a war, there should be no reason your town hall is outside.
Outside, yeah, definitely have it inside in a war. But even when you're trophy pushing, like once you get up where you're kind of out of your league, it's sometimes nice to have it outside, because when it's inside, people come in like 3-star you, but when it's outside, you have, once in a while people will just take it for 1 star.
Just snipe. I think at a certain level, then, I think at a certain level, it's like, it's nice because either, and I'm about to start trophy pushing again. Mm-hmm. So I think at a certain level, people they either have to risk it all or if you want to put it in there and let them snipe it and then grab that shield quick, so you're not having to stay there.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, is that you get a free shield. So and I know when I was first playing, the first 7 or so town halls, I just put my town hall inside because I figured, that's what you're supposed to do. They have that on the little loading screen. Make sure to put your town hall inside. This is very important to protect your trophies. And after you've been playing a while, you realize, well, trophies don't matter. I can, gain a bunch of trophies or lose a bunch of trophies so quickly. The loot is what, builds and builds and builds. And so, if you're in a doing something where you really want to have a lot of trophies, then maybe it makes more sense. But the vast majority of the time, there's no reason that you should have the town hall inside, because maybe people don't realize this. If you have your town hall out, in the corner, just someplace tempting for people to stop and take it out and then quick end, you get a shield. So, say you have a bunch of loot in your camp and you don't want people to take your loot, obviously. You leave your town hall outside, someone comes, they take it, you lose, maybe 6-7 trophies or whatever, and you lose 1,000 gold and 1,000 elixir. But if you have your town hall inside, whoever ends up stopping to attack you, they're going to take, 200,000 of each or something.
They're going to say, look, I've got... Well,
they're going to say, what they're going to say, if you have your town hall on the outside, someone's going to snipe it, and then they're going to say, oh, I don't see his camp because it doesn't pop up because he has a shield. So they just can't attack you.
I've been leaving my town hall inside, though, on my level 6 and level 7, because I figure, sure, they can come take it, but if somebody really wants to get my gold,
if someone wants to get... So it just depends if
Yeah.
I mean, if someone wants to get your gold, then, and they see you and they want to attack you, your base looks easy, then they'll do it. But they're much less likely to ever see you if your town hall's outside, because one of the very first people that searches you, boom, they're going to take out your town hall.
Yeah, because
then all those other people that would have searched you, you would have kept popping up in searches. Then one of them would have decided to attack you for loot, and then you lose trophies anyway.
Right. So the risk is they go, okay, you've got your town hall outside. I've already got a 1-star. I'm trophy pushing.
But
there's enough loot there that I can just go for it. And if I didn't, at least I don't risk losing trophies. That's the one.
That is true. That is the one drawback, is that when people are trophy pushing, you never want to lose a battle when you're trophy pushing. You might use a whole army to get 4 cups or something when you're way high up there, but if you lose a battle, then you're going to lose 30 cups or something like that. So
and that's the risk. But most people will just go, fuck it, just drop a couple troops, get those things. I'll move on to the next one.
Yeah.
See what I can snipe. And
Exactly.
and then I save time. I don't have to train an army, and I don't
Then they save their whole army, because they could hit your town hall and then say, "Well, I'm playing with house money now. I have no chance of losing this attack, so I'm going to go in and try to get a 2nd or a 3rd star or whatever." But most people are going to say, "Well, I can take 1 star here, save the entire army, keep searching, and then attack another person or whatever it is." So yeah, that's a super important thing. And I realized how few people have their town hall outside, because when you're going through, you can see, I pretty much always stop and snipe a town hall when I see it, because I usually am losing trophies while I'm farming, because I just go for the pumps and mines and stuff, and so I'm always trying to struggle to stay up in the farming zone that I want. And so I always will hit the town halls when they're on the outside.
Trophies are a way to move yourself through the game and keep yourself at certain levels in certain leagues for where you can. Sometimes the bonuses make a huge
true.
difference.
The bonuses, once you get up high, the bonuses can make a really big difference.
Because I could go low and just kick the shit out of anybody I wanted to, but
the penalties are gonna, you're not gonna get as much loot from them, and then also the bonuses aren't there. But besides the bonuses, the only function of
that makes
trophies,
a good point about you're maxing out the bases and where the bases are, because with your rule, because you can have the strongest Town Hall 9, and with strategy and tactics, really work it.
And know that all Town Hall 10s are going to have penalties on you and stuff. And the other thing is, the maxing the Town Hall, some people, it's their second account, they want it, they're not playing it like a normal account where they, are trying to max it out and do the regular stuff. Some people, they use it as a donating account or something, where they don't really max their Town Halls. They just try to get as good of troops as possible, and then take it into their clan and donate a bunch of troops and stuff, which is one way to do it. Or you could just recruit another person who has those troops.
I won't even donate to myself at my second account, because I kind of have these really weird rules. I mean, me and Boneyard. See, I think it's probably perfect that it's House of L and House of Zod, because Boneyard is only donating to himself. And
player one's request a lot of time is, only Boneyard can donate, which makes sense. He has some troops that he's cooked, especially that he wants, so definitely.
And I won't do that with Exace. I'm like, you know what? My clan has to give him to me, because I don't know. For some reason, to me, it just is, and I don't hold it against anybody that does it, because it is, it's playing the game and you can do it, and there's nothing that says you can't. But I just feel like it's a little bit cheating to me.
Yeah, I don't.
Just the way I play, I guess.
Yeah, that is when House of Zod and House of El go up against each other in the war, you're going to get blown out, because Boneyard's going to be doing all these underhanded, sneaky tactics and stuff, and you're going to have too much honor, and he's just going to be doing all the self-donations and probably spying on you.
It'll be just like Man of Steel. It's like you've got Kal-El up against General Zod. And it's how do you play it? You know, it's but it'd be funny. But it's funny because it's just there's no reason why that should be a rule of mine. You know, but there's just certain things.
You have a code of honor. It's like
I guess
Bushido code or something, samurai code.
So do we do all 4 rules?
Yeah, but so I wanted to go into this one a little more. The town hall outside. This might be the most important of the rules, and so few people, such a small percentage of people, have their town hall outside. So I'd be curious to hear from people who have it inside as to why the hell you have it inside, because most people have it inside. So maybe there's something I'm missing, or maybe they just think they're supposed to. You know, higher level people tend to do it a lot. You know, like in your Scotty account, it probably wouldn't make too much difference because no one's going to attack you anyway. You know, and that way you can not
people
be
have been
losing
going for
trophies.
it. I've just put it in. Normally it's outside. I put it in because I was just losing attacks. You know, or I'd go in and, you know, I'm going for elixir, and when you're going for one thing, you never get it. So I said, screw it, I'm no longer going for elixir. I am only going for gold. Because, and now the elixir's flowing. It's like I can't stop it.
Well, it's good. You just got to trick the system.
And I'm working on the walls because of the Valkyrie. I'm finally going to level 8s. And then I'm going to keep going. I'm really going to try to push to... I think I'm going to start the push as soon as my next upgrade goes, going for champion. I really want to get there.
What's your max right now? Like Master 1?
I think it was like 26 something. But that was months ago.
No. Last time you pushed, you were at least 28 something.
No, I don't think so.
You should actually. I can.
Oh wait! I can look right now, can I?
Yeah, you can look in your profile. The beauty of the profile. But so this town hall thing, yeah, it seems like such an obvious thing, and if more people had it outside, then it would be better for everyone when they're trophy pushing, or when they want to gain some trophies, they'll give you a shield. Like, it's just, it's good for everyone. When you snipe someone's town hall, you're doing them a favor. If you just touch their town hall and don't touch their base, you're giving them a free, 12-hour shield or whatever it is, and you're not taking any loot from them. So it's not like, it's just a nice thing to do.
Where would I find out how many I've...
It's it's underneath the gold grab. It should say 28 something or 20.
Let me see.
It's like
Sweet Victory.
Sweet Victory. That's
2685 is the highest I've ever gotten.
Oh, okay. I could have swore that. Okay, maybe it's the 85 that I'm thinking of that made me think of the 8. Well, yeah, you should definitely be able to get quite a bit higher than that.
Because I've got every troop except for the P.E.K.K.A.'s max, and that's with the update. And we should probably cut this and just continue on with the update talk in the next episode. But I think, I just want to get my freeze spell maxed, and maybe the jump spell now. But I do want to do a push because that was one of my goals for the year, was to really go for it. And I just want to see what I can do, And I think with House of L, with Minnesota Knights, I was about to do it because they're all high level and there's lots of people. But now with House of Zod and whatnot, and we got enough Town Hall 10s that people could give away good troops. So, and I'm sure House of L will fill up too. So join House of L. Anyone who is out there.
I am guessing that it's going to fill up fast because House of Zod all of a sudden jumped from like 12 people to 50 people, and then there was a bunch of people requesting and couldn't get in and stuff. So
yeah, and if you request and you get rejected, it is because it's full. And so, that was a problem we ran into, and it's nothing we ever, had to think about before. But, so the only rules, the rules thus far are you have to be active. We're going to be War Clan. We're going to be in constant wars. And Boneyard and I are going to talk about, on the episode we record tomorrow night, about attack strategies or the war strategies, who you go for.
And make sure in your episode you guys do tomorrow night, make sure to talk about the 120 star war. I don't want to give it away because I know that Boneyard's going to want to talk about it and brag about it. So
war.
Yeah, so make sure you guys get into that because I've never seen something like that. That is freaking awesome.
That was really pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
let's
should we wrap and then we'll just because we got to talk about the update.
Yeah, let me squeeze my last my subsection of the town hall thing, and then we can do the update for the next episode. So
okay.
I want to implore everyone out there: put your town hall outside. I mean, unless there's some kind of reason why you can convince me that people should have town halls inside, you should all have them outside. And another thing,
and you can write in and talk about that.
Yeah, is don't freaking trap your town hall. You should want people to take your town hall and give you a shield. It is a favor to you. So when you put your when you put Teslas, it's just kind of a dick move, but whatever. You know, I'll kill your Teslas or whatever, and the Teslas come back, so that doesn't matter to you. It just kind of annoys me. But the things that are directly detrimental to you, player that I'm attacking, are putting your clan castle radius within range of your town hall. So you say, oh yeah, they're going to hit my town hall, but my clan castle troops are going to come out and get them. Then your clan castle troops just got wasted, you know. Or more importantly, putting your heroes. When someone puts like their barbarian king near enough to the town hall that it gets lured over inadvertently to the troops, and then I mean it's easy for me, I just kill it. But there goes your barbarian. Now you got to wait 2 hours or whatever till it can, you know, attack or defend for you.
If you put it outside, you mean?
Yeah. If they put anything near their town hall. So clan castle heroes. Another thing is giant bombs.
Okay.
So this is the.
Well, here's the thing. I think this is what you're saying is that if you don't care about your town hall, so if you're not trophy pushing, if you're not going for defensive trophies, don't protect it with stuff.
Don't protect it. I mean, and just as a nice thing, don't, you know, put a bunch of Teslas and stuff by it. But you're directly, you know, being detrimental to yourself if you put clan castle, heroes, or most importantly, giant bombs. Well, heroes are probably more important. But so I go in there, someone has a bunch of giant bombs, you know, by their town hall. I was only planning on taking out their town hall, you know, taking 1,000 of each, you know, giving them a shield. But so somehow I came in to only take your town hall, but this raid that I'm doing is going to cost you 80,000 gold because I blew up all your giant bombs. So instead of just losing 1,000 gold like you're supposed to, you leave a bunch of giant bombs around. Now you have to reload all of those traps. And why? So many people do that stuff. It's like, you freaking idiots. So just because I came in and gave you a shield, now you know, instead of just losing 1,000 gold, you lose 80,000 gold.
Right.
So people out there, think this through, you know. So put your town hall outside.
If you're going to put it outside,
put it way outside. Just put it way out there, man. Just come on, man. Get with the.
Don't let it cost you money, because that's right. That happens all the time with those giant bombs.
Yeah, and so I mean, because those cost a ton of money to rearm them. So why have people blow up your giant bombs and need to pay a bunch of money to? So yeah, that's just, people don't really think that through, I think. Like, oh yeah, well, I'm going to make it, you know, kind of not tempting to get my town hall because my hero or my, you know, clan castle is there, but then I'm just going to kill your hero then. Like, it's no skin off my teeth or back or whatever that saying is. Like, I don't care. You know, it just takes me a couple extra troops to kill your archer queen or whatever, but now you have to wait 2 hours to use your archer queen. So just, you know, get with the party, man. Stop being a downer and trapping your town hall and stuff. So that's my that is my. Well,
that's some really good advice, because I had somebody write in. I wish I had the name pulled up about which episode to listen to find out the best way to attack, and I think or you know, how to play. And I think some of the things you see are people that just. You know, we've learned a lot, you know, about playing.
Yeah, and so, yeah, those 4 things, I'll, if anything, you know, if I think of anything else, but I think those are 4 really big things that people do make mistakes about, especially the first time they're playing, but even in their second account, you know. So save your gems, upgrade your town hall, don't take the goblin levels lightly, you know, use them strategically, and put the frickin' town hall outside.
All right.
And then you're going to be a little bit more successful player. If you're an idiot, I can't help you. You're not going to be good. But those are tips that should help you.
Well, let's wrap this up, and we'll go into we'll do the update episode because we've got a little bit of time, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I can go into this infuriating new way that they're plotting against the poor hog.
Oh, God, yeah, let's do that. Okay, well, get a hold of us, clashclanspodcast@gmail.com. We'll be answering more questions. You guys have been sending in good stuff. We've been trying to get them in the episodes, and the voicemails are just about to come in, and we're working on getting in a call-in thing going. So
that would be sweet. That would be sweet.
clashclanspodcast@gmail.com. You can text. Just put it in your text box and text it in. And then follow us at WBSMT Radio on Twitter. It's where we kind of send out the war
Kryptonian
results.
updates.
Yeah, the Kryptonian updates. I sent out the House of L. And so...
Leave your voicemails, 424-27-CLASH. We promise we will be playing your voicemails at some point.
There's some sitting there, and things are rocking, but things have been happening so fast. So, and that's the dog snoring in the background. I can't get her to stop. You can hear anywhere in the entire house.
You guys really need to lock your pets in the closet or something when
you can hear
recording.
her. You can hear her through the floor.
Oh.
So,
well, chain it up outside. Don't you have a doghouse or something, Scotty?
No,
you're a professional podcaster with an audience of tens of thousands of people. You can, build a doghouse for your dog.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, keep it clashy, everybody.
Keep it clashy, guys.
Skilly beep 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 skilly beep.